Hey YouTube, Mike here. How we all doing today? Hope we all had a safe and productive week. Alrighty, this is the second time I'm going to try to do this video because I got 50% through it before and my battery went dead. And as you know, I don't like editing because I like to show it real time, exactly what happens, so we're doing it again. Alright, and this time I got a full battery. All right. Excuse if you hear, it's pouring raining out here in Florida, and I'm downstairs in my lower studio in front of the props. So I don't think you'll hear it, but just in case, that's the rain. Okay, today's problem. Problem is that you get a call from someone that's got a Navien unit, and they say they turn the water on, or they could turn on two hot water faucets, and the tankless is doing nothing. They tell you over the phone that the screen shows 120 or 125, that there's power. Of course, there's power because the screen is on, but no matter what they do or what they turn on for hot, nothing happens. So, what could it be? Well, it could be that it's a clogged inlet filter, and it's so clogged that it's not moving water. But most of the times, and I'm saying like Ivory soap, 99.9% of the time, it's a problem with what they call a water servo valve, water sensor, water turbine. There's a multitude of words for it, but basically what it does is it's sensing water going through the unit and telling the tankless to fire at certain stages. So quickly, what happens? when you're asleep in the middle of the night, 2 in the morning, the tankless is sitting there like the light in your refrigerator until you open the door, it goes on. When you open up a faucet, the tankless will start. Why? Because you open up a faucet and you start moving water through the system. Water comes out of the hot, so water is going into the cold side, going through the heat exchanger, getting heated, coming out the top of the heat exchanger, going back down, out the hot water, through the pipes, to your faucet. Now, if you have no way for this tankless to say what's going on and how to fire it, the tankless sits there. And as you put more and more and more water through it, the system, the turbine, which is within this piece, spins faster and faster, and that vamps up the burner to either do a small amount for one faucet, or if 2 people in the shower, more. So it could do, like for this unit, which is a 210, it could do almost 10 gallons a minute. So it's got to vamp up the burner. So what's happening is that the tankless, there's something clogged in it. Debris, dirt, sand, coquina like we get. And you find this a lot on new installations, that the plumber did not flush out the cold water line because there's all brand new pipes, sand got in it, they tied the water main in, somebody could have thrown stuff in it because they were pissed off at the boss. I can't tell you, but crap got in there. So, what are you going to do? You're going to check the inlet filter first, but if you still have that problem, you need to remove this and either clean it out and or replace it. Now, on an older model, you could have the magnetic reader gone bad, which then you will have to replace it. So how do you replace it? Unplug it, turn the power off, shut off both hot and cold water, pop the relief valve, drain out water in the heat exchanger. Now, all you need is a Phillips screwdriver, a bunch of rags, and your magnetic tray, which, as you can see, the magnet came off. That's really all you need. You could have a pair of needle nose pliers, or what they call duckbill pliers, which are needle nose pliers with a fatter tip on it. All right, water is off, power is off, drain down. First thing you want to do is you want to unplug. Well, actually, let me zoom in so you can actually see the water servo valve. So there is the water servo valve. You have the cold water tube that comes up. you have this blue, double blue wire, which is a thermistor, which senses incoming water temperature. Then you have a black, white, and red wire that goes to the magnetic reader, and all of this goes back to some convoluted tubing that's actually clipped to the tube, and that all goes back to a water valve, which then goes to the PC board, and that's the brain, and it tells the system what to do. So once you unplug your black, white, and red wire and your double blue wire, you now have no more connections to the water servo valve. Take out the clip. You can use your needles, use your duckbill, but I find put your Phillips screwdriver in there, grab it this way with your thumb, and pull it straight out. That's your clip. Your clip goes back in with this part facing straight down. Okay? So just remember that part facing straight down. Magnetic tray. Now, 4 screws. 2 at the top, 2 on either side. Do not use that. No drill. It is not a machine screw. It is a tap screw, and you'll end up messing up the housing that it goes into, which is part of the heat exchanger. So you want to take out. Now bear in mind, you know, your fingers are wet. Put rags down here at the bottom because you will get some water out of it. And I'm going to try my best not to interfere with the camera, but I usually work facing it. This water sensor, and like I said, there goes 1 screw. This water servo valve, by far, is the best to replace. Because other units, you have to, they're down here at the bottom. You have to disconnect the union for the cold water, take off the cold water inlet fitting, take 2 screws out, a bunch of wires, part of the heat exchanger, and pull out that water servo valve, which is a big clunk, and it's 2-part because there's a mixer behind it, and then mess with it. So you got your 4 screws, you got your clip off, and all you're going to do is pull it straight out and up, and there's your water servo valve. Look in there. There's your turbine. I don't know if you could see it on camera. That's the turbine. And here is the magnetic reader. And here is the thermistor. So you want to look at that. You want to check in there, little flashlight. You could have debris down in there. Sometimes you can get it out. If you blow through it, it's going to sound like it actually looks like a kazoo, right? You're going to hear a bzzz. You'll hear that. That's the water turbine because the flow is in this direction. So you'll hear that kind of like a bzzz sound. But most of the time, you ain't going to get the debris out. It's up in here. Or if it's a bad magnetic reader, if it's an older model, or it could be a defective part, this, you're going to have to change it. Now, if you change it, where you're going to find it, and we're going to zoom down here, is you're going to find it in Navien's parts box, which is for the NPE. There's 2 parts boxes. NPE, so it's a 160 to 240, and an NPN, 160 to 199, and the NPN is on my truck. So you're going to find it in this bag, that bag. Let's get back up here. And that bag, the bag is not marked, it's a big bag. But inside the bag, you're going to find it with the top of the pump, you're going to find it with the pressure switch, you're going to find it with the damper piece for the Venturi. You're going to find, here's the top of the pump. There's like 5 different pieces in here. So that's what you're going to find it with in that bag. There's 2 bags identical, same size. So just look for this bag that has the water servo valve, and they actually call it flow sensor, and it is a 300 24866A, description below, and it's for an NPN A2 and S2. So the S2, the A2 that has the pump and the buffer tank, the S2 does not have that, but it's the same water servo valve. Okay, So it's a nice bag, and you will replace it. Again, you're going to have of course, the model and serial number when you call up Navien to have this thing replaced. Remember, you got to buy that box, and you normally get it at a massive discount if you become a level 3 trainer. And then all the parts are then sent to you for free on the warranty. And if it's within that year, it's a labor warranty, you'll get paid for changing the part. Okay, so let's just say we changed it. So you're going to have your little thing of the heat-proof grease, that faucet grease. You're going to put some on here, put some on here. Now, if you cleaned it, I would highly recommend you removing the thermistor. Just say you cleaned it. Or this could be also a thermistor video. If you're not getting proper incoming water temperature, you could have a dirty thermistor. So the thermistor is this part, and then a tiny little O-ring. That tiny little O-ring. Just shop towel or just a little bit of emery cloth or Scotch-Brite. Clean it off so it's shiny. Get that O-ring, a little bit of grease. Put that back in, and then there are 2 of these large-headed screws. They're so small, I don't know if you'll see it, but basically what these screws are doing is they're just holding the unit in by the back brass housing from it popping out. The O-ring is what's doing the water seal. And again, just not so tight. If you're doing this outside, sometimes I lay a tarp down, because if you're dropping screws, these units are so good, and we didn't really have a big amount of Naviens here, so I can't say get the first generation and steal parts from it, because a lot of the screws are the same. So I just had them send me a load of screws. So that's it. Just tighten it down, not super tight. Here's your valve. Put it into your pipe. Push it into and the O-ring fell off. Emma, get that back in there. Alrighty. There we go. You gotta just watch that O-ring. Sometimes it comes out. You just gotta get back into position. It'll slide right back in. Now, when you tighten the screws up, you want to go in a cross pattern, but don't tighten them up all the way really tight. Wait till you get all the screws in. I like the most easiest screw, which is this top left one. That one, find your other screw. I tell you, these little Harbor Freight trays, they got some magnetic piece in them. All right, now once you put your last one in, you can tighten that one down. Tighten that, tighten that. Find your damn screw hole here, tighten that. Now get your clip is magnetized. Remember the little bent piece down. Clip. Now take find your blues. Remember, they're only going to fit each other, and make sure you clip at the notch, click it in. Then this one, there's a little notch right there. You have to click it in. You got your power back in. Now you can turn your water back on, hot and cold. Bleed it out of the relief. Of course, if it's an indoor unit, you're going to have a bucket. Power it back up. Then turn the unit back on, get it all set, go upstairs, turn a faucet on, check it, system will fire. So that would be the procedure on what you would need to do to replace or clean if you had to, a water servo valve. Because now remember, let's go back, just look at this filters again. You're going to check both. While you're there, you might as well check the inlet filter and the pump filter if it's an A model. And remember, you got the filter, and the filters, the pump or the inlet filter are identical. So if you take both and clean them and you're looking at them, don't worry about it. Just put whatever in what, because they're both exactly the same. See that? I know exactly where that filter is. I'm going to have to bend down and look, because I really can't bend down and look. My back hurts. And again, when you're tightening them, the filters, just snug, hand tight. All right, YouTube. Everything will be in the description below. Part numbers. My email will be below. Again, follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and I now will be on Facebook. We'll be starting our website, and probably in a month or so, we will be selling That Tankless Guy t-shirts, hats, stickers. We're gonna have some merchandise. Okay? So I want to show you something. I'm doing a video on this, and I just started it, and I want to show you, just give you a little sneak peek of a new Navien product, which if I was still up north, I would sell a ton of these things. So I'm going to just quickly pan the camera around so you could take a look at this. Okay, there's the cardboard behind the box, and there's what that is a gas-fired hydronic furnace. So basically, it has a mini-size NPE unit in it, condensing, high efficient. And you put an A coil on it. It has vents, relief, gas, condensate, cold water feed. And this thing, when fired, will heat your house with hydronic heat. And I did thousands of some similar type units in New York, but fed off boilers in the basement. These is a self-contained tankless that all you need is to put the cooling stuff on it. But I will have a full video on this next week. I've been taking this thing apart for a week now, as you can see, and I am so impressed with it. But you'll see it all. It'll be unveiled next week. I just wanted to give you a quick sneak peek. All right, YouTube. Again, thank you for all. I mean, man, you guys are just amazing. Thank you for the subscribes, the likes, the comments. My email will be below. If you've got a question, email me. I'll answer it. If you need training, my training is still available. Email me and I'll give you the information. And if you need some consulting, either email me or message me, and I'll give you the information on my pricing and what I do for the consulting. All right, YouTube? You know, just hit that bell for notifications, and if you can just like and share this video, would be greatly appreciated. All right, YouTube, you all be safe out there and enjoy your endless hot water. See you later. Bye-bye now.